Hi, my name is Amy. I did a 1 year Mission Impossible internship. I am now currently working as a nurse practitioner.
Great, Amy. Lovely to have you here. I just wanted to ask you a few questions today. Could you tell us a bit about the skills that you were able to develop over your years supported internship with Mission?
I learned self-management, so managing with various things. I learned coping with change because obviously they're going to happen and it's the way you manage with them, and also verbalising that I need some support instead of bottling it up and trying to plough on.
Perfect. So could you tell us a little bit about how you found that to help you in your current role as a nursery practitioner?
It helped me massively because in a nursery you have to deal with a lot of change. They're 2-year-olds, they're going to be going off the walls, they're going to need support, they're going to need this, right there and then. And it's putting everything down what you were doing just to go and help that child or help the other nurse practitioner in the room, and managing your own self so you don't snap at a child when you're stressed with the amount of noise, the screaming, the throwing toys, the paint splattering up over your uniform, and being able to actually, it's just children, they just need your support.
Yeah, so just distancing yourself from
Yeah.
that. Okay, great. So the next thing I'd like to ask you about is what do you see yourself doing in the future within this role that you've taken on?
I think now I've learned quite a lot just in the first few months of being a nursery practitioner. I want to be starting my apprenticeship, so that be then me qualifying as a level 2 hopefully in the next year or so, which will mean that I will be allowed more children, I'll be allowed to have more key children, because at the moment I've got 2, which for me is great that the staff can see me as a trusted member of staff and that I can supervise and do obs on 2 children and write up in the system. And I want to develop that further into being qualified, because then I can do so much more for the children who need that.
Yeah, great job. So would you say that some of the skills that you're utilising now are leadership, coaching, teaching others, or is that something you want to aspire to do in the future?
I definitely think I'm doing a lot of leadership and being able to support others, and I would want to do more of that, because I think that that's what the children need, is a leader in the nursery, and not having so many people trying to ask them to do so much things, as them actually looking up to one person saying, right, this is who we're listening to, actually we can trust this person, and that I can trust and have confidence in my own self to be able to run a lesson, do a group, do story time with 10, 12, 14, 32-year-olds sitting around me.
Yeah, great. And how do you think that those skills might be able to benefit the staff that you're working with?
I think those skills will benefit massively, because they'll be able to see, yes, I have SEN, yes, I have the complex whatever, but it doesn't stop me from being able to work with children. It actually gives them that extra sparkle to the children, because we've got children with SEN and I'm able to go into the eyes of the SEN and support them. They've seen differences in the months I've already been working in SEN children, because I have been already there helping them.
That's good. And do you think other people within your workplace might have special educational needs as well?
I know, definitely there are a few, and I think the fact that I've come on, I've understood them. I know when they need to take breaks. I know that they can't go and lift this child up. I know that they can't help them in their walking frame or their wheelchair, but I can. So I'm able to understand them, because someone on another background doesn't exactly that. Just do it,
So you can connect in that way.
I can really connect to the others who need connection.
So Amy, what are the challenges do you think for employers such as yours in being able to provide a good workplace and learning environment?
I think there are quite a lot of challenges in different, work areas, especially in my nursery. It is quite hard to say, actually, it's not going to be noisy. You're not going to struggle with the noise because it's going to be noisy. But them actually going, actually, it's going to be really noisy, but you're allowed 5 minutes time out. We'll put that in place for you. Okay, it's going to be loads of information like this, but we'll write it on the whiteboard. Here we've got to put a new whiteboard up, we'll write it on there for you, then you know what you're doing for the day. And I think the fact that they've actually been able to do that, just because they know that they need someone to help the others understand in a workplace. If businesses anywhere can do that, then it's so much better. It's basic stuff doing visuals. It's really basic.
Yeah, so it can help anybody.
It can help anyone.
It can help people who are...
putting up another whiteboard is not going to do a lot, but it's going to mean a lot to the person who needs it.
Yeah, who needs it. So older people with English as a second language.
Braille, simple, just dots, just around. You don't need, even if you don't think someone who will need it, don't think will come in. They will come in and they will need it.
Yeah, great. So I think what you're trying to say there is that businesses would benefit from having potentially some basic training in SEND, or having one person in their workplace that could lead people with extra needs in the workforce.
If they're going to lead something to be help other people understand it, to maybe have the SEN person there as well to actually explain it from their point of view.
Yeah,
because some days are really hard in trying to manage everything, and there are some days you will have your fizzles, but they're going to happen for people to understand what to do next time.
Yeah. So in terms of learning supports that have helped you both at Mission Employable and in your current workplace, if we focus on what helped you when you were at Mission, what are some of the learning support strategies that you think helped you
having the check-ins
to build that?
The check-ins were really, really important, because I could just sit down with with one of you and go, right, this is going really well, this isn't going so well, and the support and the next steps we're going to put in place. And that was able just to have a quick catch up on being able to know, so then we knew what to happen. Because if we didn't have them, then it all went a bit
wobbly.
wobbly.
So talking about having a reflective cycle, really thinking about what to do next, what strategies you're going to use, and then checking back in with you to see how it works.
And just knowing, okay, this went well, tick. Didn't go so well, what can we do next time? And reflection, it's all about reflection and knowing,
And quite regularly.
So my workplace has been really good on that, and with my room leader we'll do it about once, maybe twice a week, which for me, she doesn't do Mondays, so it'll be Tuesday to Friday I see her, and it'll be on a Tuesday, sometimes maybe a Wednesday and on a Friday, just to see how things are going, because our numbers have been going up, so the noise level, the stress level, the change hadn't gone up massively.
So you can reflect on those changes as they happen.
Really supportive of that, and giving me time.
So you've talked about visual supports and whiteboards and things like that. What other sort of visual or things, tools that help you process at work?
So I can get quite fidgety and quite pacey, and we've got now sensory toys in the room, which I'm allowed to use as a nursery practitioner, which for me is really helpful, because I can engage the children using it, so it's not just for my benefit, and that helps me be able to concentrate and listen to the whoever's talking to me in the room, because that is kind of distracting me from everything going on around in my head, any triggers which might have happened, or the noise, or the screaming, the gates opening, the doors shutting, or the banging, and all of that.
Yeah, okay, so you've got visual supports, a bit of processing time, and being able to have like your post-its and things like that. I know that you use the clear and regular feedback cycle, which you talked about earlier. Do they provide you with a nice, clear structure that doesn't change too much? Something that you can rely on?
We have a set rotor on the whiteboard, which has got from 7:30 in the morning what happens from 7:30, and they've got the times done in brackets. So from 7:30 to 8:30 is breakfast, and then 8:30 to 9 it's free flow. Then 9 is nappies, while free flow is outside. So things like that, and then I can look on that board and go, right, this time we're doing this. And I think that for me, knowing what's going to happen is really helpful. And if the room leader's not in for the day, for whatever reason, she will leave on the whiteboard the day before what jobs she wants each of us to do over the week or the next day.
Yeah, so that reduces your anxiety, doesn't it?
Because then I know what I'm doing, and I know that as she said that, I can't do anything wrong, and I've got to focus, and if I do that, then I've accomplished it.
Yeah, great. So it sounds to me like having a staff member that working with you who understands your needs is probably a really key thing to the success of where you're at now. Would you agree? Yeah? So if you could give advice to any other businesses or even educational settings, like other places that you could do training in if someone was in the same situation as you coming through school and college, what advice would you give to them about the type of support that they can provide, or the training that they need to have to be able to support someone like you coming through?
I think it's don't be scared of anyone coming through the door to have SEN. I think it's being flexible and adaptive to them, and then getting the training, because the training, even if it's basic, will give them a quick insight on how it is for someone, knowing actually it's not going to affect their business as much as I think it will. All it's going to do is maybe have a few more post-it notes around, a few visuals, some braille. It's not going to make really much change, but for that person coming in, it's going to mean the whole world to them. So the training is going to mean a massive difference to the person coming through their doors. And I think for the person with SEN, is what they need, is the understanding, the inclusivity, and knowing actually they have a place in the world. Because a lot of people with SEN feel excluded. to feel included, that's going to make all the difference to them.
Awesome, thanks Amy. So in terms of training, we've talked about it before. We probably, would look at having some sort of government mandatory training. Is there anything out there currently that you know of that's similar that we think could be put in place in educational settings and businesses?
There's the recent thing of the Oliver McGowan thing, which has come up after he was not properly understood with his autism and challenging learning difficulties in a hospital setting, and was just given medication and just passed away. And I think that sparked a lot of conversation, hit the news quite a bit, and I think they did a petition, tried to get so many signers to be able to give training for people to understand with autism and other challenging learning difficulties, and I think something like that is going to be helpful, because it's just what people need. No one should ever have a death to be able to get training in place. You should do it before the death happens, because they just need to be understood.
Yeah, so in our setting, it's like you want to put the training in there just before somebody fails, or before an opportunity is missed.
Yeah, because I think from the background I came through, I came through so many different other placements which didn't work out. ME Mission Impossible was the last chance of me being able to actually get a job, to be able to be understood, and that placement gave me what I needed, and I genuinely don't know where I would have been if I didn't find your placement, the placement,
and with suitably trained
staff who understand dysregulated moments happen, but it doesn't affect them. It just helps them learn what to do next time.
Yeah, that's amazing, Amy. Thank you so much for your time today. I think your feedback's very important, and we hope that Buckinghamshire Council is able to listen to that and maybe put some stuff in place. Thanks very much.
Thank you.